Hey guys, Crystal Thompson here for Studio Cadia. Today on the Studio Cadia YouTube channel, I have a very easy one-layer card that we're going to be doing some partial color. We're going to be using a black marker along with some gold Nuvo drops. For embellishments, we're using the Studio Cadia Classic Metallic Fusion. Stamp sets, we're using the potted flowers. And then for our mask, we are actually going to be using the dotted pattern set of 3. And I have pre-cut this, it's a little shape that I'm going to cut from memo tape, and then we're going to place it on the center of our pre-cut cardstock. So my cardstock's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now we're going to begin our repetitive background. So this is a really popular, really easy way to create your own background DIY for your cards. So what I'm going to be doing, using black ink, I'm going to stamp all these little flowers, or excuse me, potted plants all over the card base, leaving a little bit of room to color in between. We're going to be coloring with black marker in between these spaces. One of the tips I can give you when you are doing some repetitive stamping is to have enough acrylic blocks for each stamp. This will really make it easy to stamp and not having to clean each little stamp when changing them out. So you can see I am adding my stamp set to my acrylic block and just continue to stamp. I'm going to fill in this whole piece of patterned of white cardstock to create a pattern paper, and I'm really trying to be particular about stamping on that center so you really get to see that masking of that shape. So we're going to continue on just continuing stamping. Okay, once you have filled out the entire card base with the repetitive stamping of the potted flowers, we're going to begin by coloring. We're going to add that just little top part of that potted plant. Now we're going to start with our coloring. Before we remove the mask, we are going to start coloring, and I'm not going to do a full color of the whole card because one, there's a lot of little details, and honestly, I am doing this a little faster. However, this took about 12 minutes. So for the purposes of this video, I want to show you the process of what it ended up looking like and how I ended up doing it. So I'm just going to do half of this card panel, and I'm doing it at an angle. So that's really going to give us that black and white contrast and really just make the other potted plants pop out. So I'm going to continue coloring throughout all the little details. Once we're done with our coloring, I went ahead and removed the masking so you can see this really fun shape. I really wanted to create it, make it really pop out. So I went back and grabbed my die, and I'm gonna trace the interior of that shape, and this is gonna really give a really fun outline of that beautiful shape and allow a place for the sentiment. Using the Thanks a Bunch from Studio Cadia potted flowers, as the stamps that we used for the pots, we're going to just stamp that with regular black ink. Now we're going to begin our embellishment. We're going to be using just clear glue, and we're going to come in with the Studio Cadia Classic Metallic Fusion, and we're going to only be using the gold out of this metallic shaker mix. Then we're going to grab it with the tip of our glue. For the other side, we're going to be using similar gold toned Nuvo drops, and we're going to do it on the black. We're just going to add a couple of little drops, just going to give it a little bit of embellishment and contrast. And I really enjoyed the way this card turned out because there's really no real coloring. You just have to color in between the potted plants and the pots. So once your card panel is dried up from the Nuvo drops, you can just go ahead and place it on your card base and it is ready to mail. This is a gorgeous 1-layer card using the Studio Cadia potted flower stamp set. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have an awesome day.